Hey folks, this is Mighty Quinn, and this is my 1 year on testosterone video. I figured I would celebrate the day by recording out in Castlewood Canyon and take a little hike. So if we start with the basics, things that have changed. I grew out of my glasses again. My head got too wide and they had to bend it again. Which is hilarious, and I'm sure he's thinking, like, why can't this dude get his glasses right? But it's pretty funny. I feel like my voice is really low lately. I'm loving it, and I've been talking as low as I can a lot just to hear the range, because it's really fun. Lots of furriness happening, you can see. It's very fun. Finally shaved my neck, because apparently it was too bushy, and people said clean it up, so that was pretty funny. Other physical stuff, my neck and my shoulders are still growing, and it's great motivation to keep working out and lifting, because, you know, muscles are getting really big. So just to document that, you can see how much my neck and things are growing, and this still looks a little weird, but I'm sure I'll tighten it up with if I ever grow pecs. Right now it's all, you know, shoulders and delts and traps and whatnot. But, so yeah, recently I've been hearing a whole lot more how masculine I'm looking from folks, which is fun. And I've just been noticing a lot of social things. You know, it's really interesting. In public, when I'm by myself, and I just want to get stuff done. You know, you just out to get your to-do list done and then get on with your day. I noticed I get gendered male way more, almost 100%, if I have a very flat affect, if I don't make as much eye contact. And it's almost like a social experiment a little bit. It's almost kind of fun to see how that is. Whereas if I smile more and make eye contact and show a little bit more emotion, that's when you see people like kind of checking and looking and be like, well, you know. And I'm sure what happens a lot is I'm getting read as a gay man, you know, which is fine. I love gay men. That's awesome. And it's just different, you know. It's different the way that guys that I just met, like coworkers, treat me, you know, when they pretty much pegged me immediately as the butch lesbian. Oh, it was easier to become one of the dudes and more chummy. And now that I'm seen as male, but maybe not hyper masculine, especially in the hospital, you know, because I'm a little more myself, and I don't show, how could I say this without being offensive? I guess I show more emotion and more empathy and stuff like that, and so, you know, probably read as a little less masculine, probably, again, read as a gay man or just a more sensitive man. And it's very interesting how, you know, there's definitely some guys that just cool chummy right away, and then there's definitely a lot of guys that are a little bit standoffish, which is really, really interesting. You know, but again, just interesting social experiments and stuff. As far as my life is going, I'm absolutely loving everything about living up where I'm living. I'm hiking at least once a week, trying to lift multiple times, you know, but definitely having to get out of my small apartment and do hiking so I don't get cabin fever. But luckily, you know, summer's hitting. I'm a total squirrel, but I'm going to go back for a second. The other thing I noticed is that when people are really struggling or in a lot of pain or things like this at the hospital, I'm very apt to maybe just touch your shoulder or touch your foot. Just make quick, you know, contact, or, you know, if people are crying and really upset, I'm going to just put a hand on the shoulder. Just, it gives that empathy. It shows that. And, you know, that's definitely different now that I'm read as male. I've definitely had some guys look at me like, get your goddamn hands off me. I'm like, whoa, dude, I was just saying I'm sorry you're hurting today, you know? And even, you know, you can see women sometimes that almost read you as male and almost have that frightened look in their eyes, you know? And that's interesting. It's something to be aware of. makes you a little sad, I think, too. It sucks. I mean, I remember I was socialized female, so I remember what that's like if you're alone with a guy and you don't totally trust him, but that is definitely interesting, is being on the other side and being aware of how I talk and how I act and things of this nature, not wanting to scare anybody, I did skip my shot this week, even though I know I said it's been a year on T, just because my acne was getting so insanely bad, and I don't know if that was and the last time we took my T levels, they were almost the upper levels, very, very much the upper levels, almost past what is normal for a trans guy, and, I'm health conscious, being a medical person, thinking of my liver, blood clots, all of that kind of stuff, and, this is really cleared up. This is a whole lot better. My back is absolutely covered, and it itches. It is so weird. It itches, and it drives me crazy, and so I thought maybe I'll just skip one shot and see if that will make enough of a difference to have stuff clear up. Hopefully, when I do my shot this week, it won't all come back, just as fast and furious, but, I don't mind a couple zits there and there, but it gets really intense, especially here, and now that I'm shaving it, the irritation is just, I'm hosting some classes that I do activism, and one's going to be on facial care and beard care soon, and, hopefully I'll get some time to talk about, you have acne and you're shaving, what the hell do you do to keep that down? So, we'll get that figured out. It's not a big thing, just one of those cosmetic things. Yeah, other than that, just, just living life and having fun. I've been doing a lot of activism, which is great. Like I said, doing classes on different physical aspects, like, classes for people that want to learn how to do makeup, or, I'm looking forward to the beard class. We're going to have a tie-tying class, so that's going to be fun to learn some of the really complicated, or learn bow ties, shit like that. That'll be a good time. I really want to do some activism to do other aspects. Our community still really struggles a lot with shame. I notice whenever I go to a conference, if there's a workshop on shame, number one, I go to it, and I always notice that is absolutely packed. So that is definitely something I want to try to bring to Denver and work on, I mean, I would not change who I am at all, being a socialized female, identifying as non-binary, now living as male. It's been an incredible experience, incredible life. I wouldn't change anything. And it's still really hard how much the world wants to tell you that you shouldn't exist, or you should be ashamed of who you are. Or, and even little stuff like feeling a little less community with the lesbian community, which sucks, and I hope that's all in my head and goes away, because I love the lesbian community. I love lesbians, Hopefully I still get to date lesbians, because I freaking love them. And it's just interesting that there's just a lot of depression and mental health, and I know that sometimes I worry that the activism I'm doing with, tie-tying, suit, makeup, if you're into that, whatever, is too superficial, but then I have to remember that it's what makes us feel better. It keeps the dysphoria at bay, so it really is combating depression and stuff like that, and building community too. Like I met the last one at the makeup. Number one, it was actually a whole lot of fun. I thought I would be bored sitting there, but no, it was a whole lot of fun, and I met some incredible trans women, and also cis women who taught the class and stuff. I just had, and a fabulous gay man. I had a really good time with that. And, the one thing we were discussing is I know why we need separate support groups. Number one, sheer numbers of people that come. We were definitely talking, there was a very newly telling people that she is a trans woman, and was asking all these questions about testosterone and trans male stuff, and just said, I wish sometimes that we had support groups together, because I'm so curious about, what y'all go through and what you do, and talk about great community, and so that's definitely been on my mind, is, bring the community together and learning from each other. Yeah, you know, it's just, and it's great stuff. And, you know, she didn't understand the whole non-binary thing at all. So we only had 5 minutes before the class, but kind of gave a little glimpse into that. And, you know, that's definitely interesting for folks, you know, and I know it's hard for them if they've been fighting so hard to be finally seen as one gender. They don't understand the floating in between. Like, you know, I love looking masculine. I love sounding masculine. I love living masculine. I love being read as masculine. And I also, being pinned down 100% just to male still feels weird to me. Almost not right. I mean, close. But, you know, it's hard to explain, but having that feeling that I do very much have a feminine side, which, you know, you can see that comes out in the nurturing and the, you know, my life is about taking care of other people in my job, in activism. It is the joy of my life to help others, disenfranchised communities, or just people that are sick, or just being there for people in crisis. You know, there's a lot of self-care that goes along with this kind of lifestyle, but it is who I am. And I have that very nurturing sense, you know, and I'm immediately call myself uncle to little kids that I bond with quickly, and you know, and even some younger, like 18, 19 kids that come out as trans or non-binary that I always knew, and I'm like, okay, now I'm officially your Uncle Quinn, and that's all there is, you know? You know, but definitely, and animals too, I just have that nurturing sense. And I'm not saying that men don't have that at all. That's definitely not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that there's more than just male going on there, and that's something that I want to honor. Not just that I was socialized as female, you know, and days that I wake up and that I almost, you know, there's a part of me that misses being in those all-female spaces, which I thought I would never say. Definitely not bathrooms and crap like that, but I'm talking about, you know, sometimes when my friends have a girls' night, you know, and just want to go talk about feelings or whatever, and you know, I miss that. I miss being invited girl night and hanging out with all the girls, you know, and I've gotten really weird about babies. All of a sudden I like babies. No, I don't want one. But I do absolutely love holding them, you know. It's really, really interesting that testosterone has almost brought out more of the nurturing side of myself, you know, but I think that is more of, as the more that I come into myself and the more that I blossom as who I am and keep doing the work, the less I'm worrying about dysphoria, about hearing she and being misgendered and all that stuff, but also just being a happy, healthy human being and having my heart so much more open now, you know, and also on that subject, just definitely being ready to, you know, there's a silly fear before transition. I think a lot of folks get, not just me, is that I will never find somebody. I'll never get married. I'll never have a partner, you know, if I transition. And it is so not the case at all. And sorry, random bug. But also, I feel like I have so much more emotionally to give to someone, you know, like my body. Yes, there are some things that changed. You know, my weight hasn't changed. I still have a little fluff. And yet at the same time, I feel so much sexier than I used to. You know, sorry, Quinn. He does want to hear about that stuff. But, you know, just feeling so much more in myself and more confident and, you know, wanting to share that with other people and having deeper, not just relationships, but, well, you know, sexual relationships, but so much deeper friendships, I think, and being a little less introverted and wanting to get out more often. Still needing my downtime. I'll always be an introvert. But really getting that deeper connection, I think, faster with people. The social anxiety is a little less. I'll always have it. I'll always be stupid around women I find attractive. That's just me, and entertaining, you know, and I'll keep finding women that think it's adorable and put up with me. But I definitely rambled a lot today, and I think it's because I'm on that 1 year mark, so I'm really thinking about life and thinking about just day-to-day stuff, You know, it's interesting when you've had something your whole life that you don't realize how much it's there or how much it affects you until it's gone. You know, the dysphoria of having breasts, for instance, and having a high voice, and not having the facial hair or whatever. Now that it's gone, I realize how heavy it was, how much it weighed on me, and how much it affected everything. Like, it exhausted me. You know, do I want to go out and meet people and talk to people? Yeah, absolutely, but I am so exhausted and not knowing why, you know. Now I can see how much different it is. You know, when I get up and I go out and it's just, it's easier. You know, not to be a cliche, but I like looking in the mirror now, and that's why I think I've been dressing much more, is that before it didn't matter what I was wearing and how much other people told me, that looks good on you, you're hot today. I couldn't see it. I couldn't look in the mirror and see it, and now I can. You know? And love wearing a suit and tie, and a lot of people think, well, you know, I'm sure people think, you know, you could do something less conventional for a suit and tie. I'm like, well, a suit for tie in me is not convention. A suit and tie is something that I've worked for, and yes, I could have worn it pre-transition. I think that's smoking hot, when women wear, you know, suit and ties and stuff like that. And now it just feels, you know, now that I have the flat chest in the suit and tie, it just feels incredible on a whole new level. And I want to take selfies. And I want to, you know, dress up for literally no reason at all. Like, somebody just tell me, you know, any reason whatsoever. I will throw a suit and a tie on, and I have some great ties that, you know, a trans woman wanted rid of when she started transitioning, and they eventually got inherited to me. So, you know, it's been awesome. It's been awesome to feel that, you know, self-confidence and that joy, and to seeing a light on the end of the tunnel, and just feel how different I feel and how much more I can focus on work too. You know, kind of a team lead in my new position. And I'd rather just go to work and be done, but at the same time, I'm kind of growing into that, and I think I'm a better tech, as far as coworker-wise and getting along with other people and helping, and, you know, I was always a really, really hard worker, you know, but things would bother me, and I'd take them home, and now I just talk them out. I just talk with people. I'm like, you know, this is how this went down, and I kind of wish it would have went down a different way. You know, even when it was something that I've done, I can just confront it a whole lot more. I'm like, you know, in retrospect, I should not have done that. That was screwed up, and I'm apologizing. And then it's gone. I don't worry about it the next day. It's just really interesting. It just feels so much lighter. Everything feels easier for some reason, you know. So anyway, thanks for letting me ramble on my boif day. And I'm just excited to see what the future holds. And, you know, now that I've done a year on testosterone video, the monthly changes that I do these videos for are not that significant or not that different. I've been struggling for stuff to talk about, so if there's anything people want me to do a video on, or they're curious about, you know, maybe more non-binary stuff, or explaining different identities, or I don't know. If there's anything folks that would like to have a video on, please put that in the comments, or if you know me personally, obviously, text me or tell me or whatever. You know, because I do enjoy doing these videos. I know I guard them, and I make the privacy settings really crazy high because I don't want to deal with trolls. And at the same time, it is kind of fun, and it is. Maybe I have some good things to say, who knows. But anyway, so this is the end of my, please enjoy the trees and the rocks and the gorgeous day, minus the random bug attack that I experienced, and love and peace, and, you know, there's always a brighter day, you know, even when you're down, just keep fighting, and, you know, there's always another way, and there's always a brighter day, and we can all get there together, you know, so, yeah, just love and peace.